Hi everybody, I'm Sonia. Thanks for joining me today, and we're just going to do a little focus on our feet. So if you're a bit squirmish with feet and you don't like feet, maybe swipe on and don't watch this. But for everyone else, if you can kindly take your shoes and socks off, and then you can meet me down on the mat, alright? So what we're going to do first of all, we're just going to get a little bit of movement into the feet. So you can have one leg straight, we're going to bend the opposite leg. You're going to just pop your hand in underneath, and all we're going to do is pull our toes up towards the sky, and then we're going to drop our toes and point them to the floor. We're just going to go through 6 reps. Once you've done your 6th rep, what I'm going to get you to do is just try circle the foot nice and slowly. I'm going to go for 6 reps around to the right, and then 6 reps around to the left. So just notice as you're making your circle, is there any tightness within the ankle? Can you try to reach that big toe as far away from you as you can? Once you reach the 6, you can swap it over. A lot of the time we forget to move our ankles in a circular motion, so they become a little bit stuck. Maybe we have injuries like sprains, torn ligaments. And you just don't really put in the love and attention to your ankles like you would to maybe your hips or your shoulders if you're trying to get some gymnastics work. Perfect. So once you've done the 6 circles, you're going to swap it over to the other side. Get that elbow in under the knee, and then again we're starting with 6 reps. Bringing the toes up to the ceiling, down to the floor. If it's not comfortable for you to sit like this, you can sit right up against the wall. Perfect. Once you've done your 6, you're going to start those circles. And the reason we have our elbow under our knee here is so that we can compensate and use our whole leg for this. So we're slowly just honing in on the foot. And already I know there's a massive discrepancy on my left side. I've torn the ligaments in this ankle playing football 3 times. And I've been doing a lot of work trying to get that big toe to work and stay down when I squat. So already when I'm doing this, it's going 90 trying to take over. So I'm trying to use all the rest of the muscles in my foot to work. So 6 and 6 circles each direction. Perfect. Alright guys, all we're going to do from here is we're just going to come into the bottom of a squat. So for some of you may want to stand up, but we're going to try and keep our toes pointing forward. You're going to use your hands behind you, and what you're going to do is you're just going to lift yourself up to stay in the bottom of a squat. So we're just going to hold it here for about a minute. It is going to be hard. If anyone really needs to, guys, you can come against the wall, pushing your bum against the wall, and we're just going to hang out down here. Now I just want you to test it out and see how that feels, because later on after we go through some of this mobility, and we will do some strength work after the mobility, just to test how it feels. Does the ankle feel a little bit looser or tighter? Now for some people, you might feel the tightness at the front of the tibia bone here, which is just above the ankle. Some of you may feel it on the outside if you've ever had any injuries to the foot, and then some of you may be up behind the back. So just notice where your tight spots are. Notice if it's one leg over the other, or if it's just both. So I wasted a little bit of time there. You have only 15 seconds left here. So as we're here, guys, you can just shimmy your weight side to side. And if anyone is really struggling to get into this position, popping something under your heels to elevate them will help you. And over time, we hope to get you down to a flat foot. Perfect. All right, from there, you're just going to come up onto your hands. I'm just going to bring those feet in a little bit closer. I'm going to turn my knees out to the outside. All I'm going to do is use my hands, put the pressure through the arm, and I'm just going to go side to side, dropping that knee towards the floor. So I'm getting a little stretch into the foot, opening up through the ankle, and we're just going to go for 10 reps. Perfect. Once you've got those 10 reps, guys, what you can do is stand up. Now, what we want to do is just see if we have the ability in our feet to move our toes separately rather than them all moving at once. So what I'm going to get you to do is, as you're just standing, I just want you to try and lift all 10 toes. So lifting those toes off the mat, perfect. You're going to place them back down. We're just going to go for 3 more reps. Good, 2 more. Last one. Perfect. All right, now the tricky part. Screw all those toes onto the floor. Let's see if you can only lift your big toe. You might get a lot of cracks, that's fine. Release. Lift again. Keep your whole body weight evenly proportioned over the foot. Back down, we have 2 more to go. Again, you might notice one toe might lift, one mightn't. As you can see, my left is really bad. Has a mind of its own. It's a work in progress. And relax. All right, now we've done the big toe. Can you push your big toe into the mat? Can you lift just the toes? Notice how it feels. Is there any strain anywhere? Does it hurt any other area in your foot as you try to lift? Is your coordination not quite on point? Good, and 4 reps there. Perfect, just take a mental note of that, guys. We'll come back to that a little bit later on, okay? So next thing I'm going to get you to do is I'm just going to get you to sit down. I'm going to go sideways just so you can see me. I'm going to try and bring the sole or the heels of my feet together, and all we're going to do is just sit back onto the heels. Now, if this is too much for you guys, if anyone has a cushion at home, this wouldn't really work, but a cushion from your couch, you can set it in between the legs and the, actually that would work, in between the legs and the bum, and it just takes the pressure off the ankles a little bit more. I'm just going to start my stopwatch and we're just going to hold it for 1 minute here. So if it's too much pressure, you can lean a little bit more forward, you can use your hands. But as we get into this minute, hopefully we can bring our body weight back a little bit towards our heels. Anyone got any knee pain, just come out of this straight away. So for most people, this will be the easy one. The next one is not so easy. Again, if you have any knee issues, ankle issues, these 2 next positions will affect you. So if you're in pain at all, just make sure you jump out. Perfect, guys. What we're going to do is just bring your hands in front. All we're going to do is adjust the feet. So have a quick look at me. I'm going to tuck the toes under. I'm still going to try to keep the heels together. And then I'm going to come up on top of my heels. So my body weight is pushing down at the big toes. Don't worry, I've already started the clock. So you guys can join me here. And again, if it's too much, you can use your hands. If you have 2 yoga blocks, you can press into the block. So just allow as much pressure as your toes and ankles can take here. And it is a really nice stretch through the calves, through the Achilles. And if it starts to feel good, maybe you can lean back and add a little bit more pressure. We're halfway. Perfect. Now what we're going to do, guys, we're going to try to get into the front of the ankle. So this is the most painful one for a lot of people unless you're a dancer growing up. But our hands can take a lot of the pressure. I'm going to get you to straighten so your bum is in the air and just step out, so you have a little bit of a gap, so maybe 2 fists between the feet. From there, place your hand on the floor. I'm going to start with that right leg. I'm going to place the toes back. I'm going to tuck the toes under and I'm just going to stretch out the front of the foot and I'm going to hold it for 5 seconds. I'll step it back in, other foot comes back. Same thing again, just hold it for 5 seconds. And we're going to swap through this 10 times, so 5 on each. And again, as we get through it, so the more reps we do, the looser the ankle will become. And you can maybe put a little bit more pressure. Some of you might be able to take your hands away, maybe not. But just 5 seconds and swap it over. Some of you may be able to bend that leg to get a little bit deeper into it. Again, if anyone needs to prop yourself up, you can use a yoga block if you can't get down that far. Use a book, anything that you can hold to help yourself out. So just 5 seconds on each side. It's too much on the wrists. Just come down to the knuckles. And it should feel nice, not too overpowering. It's my last one on each side. Perfect, alright. I'm going to get you guys to come all the way up. What you need for next bit is a wall. I like to use the yoga block just because I have my shoes off, but if you don't have the yoga block, you can go without. All we're essentially doing is just popping our toe up and our heel down, and we're just pulling our body weight forward. So I'm just going to use the block. So my toe is up, heel is down, and I'm really going to push that hip into the wall. So we're going to hold this for about 40 seconds here. So all toes are up on the block, that heel is down, and the more you drag the hips forward, the more stretch you're going to get up the back of the calf. And really dig that heel down into the floor. Got another 15 seconds here. Good, slowly release, push the weight back onto that back leg. We're going to release that leg out and we're going to swap sides. So toes are up, heels are down. When you're comfortable, you're just going to start by bringing that front hip forward, or front leg. The hip of the front leg, should I say, and pushing that heel down. And again, just notice how it feels. Is there any tightness across the front of the foot? Maybe at the bottom of the ankle. You can identify where your problem areas are in the ankle. You can work more on them, which will hopefully improve your ankle mobility, your range when we're in squats, any overhead work, running. 10 seconds to go, guys. Perfect, and you can slowly release out of that, guys. What we're going to do now is we're just going to go into a little bit of strength work. So we've just mobilized, and now we're going to do a little bit of strength work to strengthen the end range. So we're going to start off with the wall again. I'm going to put my bum against the wall, and I'm going to come about a foot away from the wall. So once I'm in this position, I'm going to work on the tibia, which is the front of your leg. So all I'm going to do is with my bum against the wall, so I can't cheat and use my hips to swing, I'm keeping it there, and I'm just going to pull my toes up. So you can do whatever's comfortable. You can relax the shoulders onto the wall, hands by your side, hands on your hips. If it gets really tough, you can pop those hands on the head for anyone that likes to do that. But basically, we're just doing 25 reps of lifting those toes up and coming onto our heels. So it's going to start to burn after about 10 to 15. So 5 left to go. 2, 1, perfect. And you're going to turn around the opposite way. I'm just going to go from the side just so you guys can see me. I'm going to place my hands on the wall, and I'm going to cross one foot over my back leg. So from this position, I want you to be at a slight angle so you're leaning into the wall. And you're going to lift the heel up and back down. We're going to do 25 reps of a calf pump here. So we're coming all the way up onto the toe and then back down again. If you need to shake it out, you can take a little rest, that's okay. Don't worry, I'm definitely feeling the burn. So I have 5 left to go. Take your time, guys, there's no rush. All the way up onto the toes. 1, oh, shake it out if you're doing your 25, if not, make sure you keep going. And then you're just going to swap it over to the other side. So you might have one weaker calf than the other. You've never realised, but you're compensating due to an injury. So again, you may need to take more breaks on one side than the other, that's okay. And again, I want you leaning into the wall a little bit so your full body weight is coming forward as you come up on the toe. all the way to 25. The rest are 5 to go. This is my weaker ankle. Again, anyone with injuries, you may need to take breaks. You may have thought you rehabbed the ankle properly, but over the years you've let it slip. Once you've done your 25, you can relax, guys. Shake it out for a second. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a few walking exercises. So I'm going to start at the end of my mat. And all I'm going to get you guys to do is come up on your toes, keeping the legs completely straight. You're just going to walk to the end of your mat. Once you get there, we're going to go the opposite way, on the heel. And we're just going to do that 2 times each. Keep the legs locked out straight as you're on the toes. And then we're on the heels. Those calves should be on fire. Perfect. The next one, guys, we're going to turn the feet out. I'm just going to show you from the front. The feet will turn out. And I'm going to get you to walk like that across your mat. The same. Start by rolling out onto the outside of the foot. Legs stay completely straight. And you're going to walk it forward. The opposite now is that we're going to roll in. And we're going to walk on the inside of the foot. We're going to do that twice each. And then back. Hopefully some of you don't have a longer mat than me, or you'll be working way harder. And relax. Perfect. Guys, you can take it to a seated position. We're just going to hold both knees and we're just going to circle both ankles for 5 reps either side. Again, you can sit against the wall if you need to. Back the other way. And last thing we're going to do, which you probably should have done earlier, is you're going to take your fingers and you're going to place them all in between your toes. So just start off with your right side and just move the fingers a little bit, just to get a little bit of movement spreading the toes. Over the next couple of weeks, I will upload some other videos and we will go more in depth with the feet. Just give you an insight as to different mobility work that you can use and some strength work. So a couple of moments and then swap sides. Hopefully you wash your feet before you put your hands down there. They've been in smelly runners all day.